At the Ford Performance Center with the newest Ford driver, Hailie Deegan. Hailie making the move over. Just this relationship really just makes sense. I know in reading the release, your dad's had a little bit of a relationship with Ford in the past. So why does this make sense for you in 2020?
I'd say as of now, my dad's had a good, long-standing relationship with Ford. He was with Ford a couple years ago, back when we raced rally cars, stuff like that. So he's had a good relationship with everyone here, and I think that Ford came to us looking to have a driver development program, where to start it, and so that was something that really cool that they came to me first. And I'm just super excited to be a part of this program because I know they're fully invested, and that's something that I've been looking for, and I know it's going to be a good, long-standing relationship in the future.
All right, let's get to the meat of this deal. Running the full ARCA schedule. What are your goals for that series? I know you've run a couple ARCA races in the past, but what are your goals? What are you hoping to gain out of 2020 in ARCA?
Yeah, I know with the combination of all the series, the grassroots series, there's going to be a lot more drivers, a lot more good drivers. And so I think that right now we go for top fives and then top threes and wins. I think that then at the end of the day, I'm being put in a good position to win races, especially with DGR and their team. They're such a great group of people. With David running that program, he knows how it is as a racer. I think it's really good when you have team owners that are racers because they understand it more. And so I think he's put together a really great program that's going to give me the opportunity to win some races.
Now, by the time 2020 gets around, you're going to be tired of this question, but we know DGR has a pretty successful truck program, something that's got to be appealing to you. So do you have a feeling if you'll end up in a truck at all, just to kind of shake things out by the end of the 2020 season?
I think by the end of the year I would love to. As of now, we're fully invested into ARCA and our funding's invested into ARCA. If some other deals come along throughout the year, then yeah, I'll go truck racing. Man, I want to race outdoors, so I'd for sure do that. But at the end of the day, for right now, at this time, we're focusing on the ARCA program and being successful there.
Got a little bit of IMSA racing coming up as well, driving a Mustang down at Daytona in early 2020. So tell me a little bit about how you anticipate that going. I know you're doing a little bit of testing on the sim. How's that been going? And excited to run on the big track down at Daytona.
Yeah, I'm a dirt racer. I am not a road course though. I've never really raced a road course before, so it's a little bit different for me. I've spent a couple hours on the sim just trying to figure it out. I feel like I have a good base now, and now we just kind of working on fixing a couple little things, but I think we'll have some good racing. I see what makes a good driver is well-rounded drivers and ones that are good at multiple things. So I think that coming from dirt racing, getting into asphalt, and then having some road course background thrown into it, it's going to help the whole all-around stock car racing a lot.
And last one for you. You've really paced yourself in your career. I know it's enticing when everybody talks about NASCAR, but you've really kind of held the reins back on yourself. I think that's benefited you. Where does that plan come from, and how do you see Ford Performance facilitating your future and long-term goals in Blue Oval?
Yeah, that's what I'm super excited about, is Ford is all behind me, waiting, trying to be as good as I can at the lower levels before I move up. Win races at the lower levels before you try something new. And I think that's something that they understand, and we came to a good agreement on to figure out, okay, let's win some ARC races before we move to trucks. Let's win some truck races before we move to Xfinity. And I think this is going to be a good relationship because we're both on the same page.
All right, Hailie Deegan's got it figured out. We'll see what she can do this year in a Blue Oval.